Welcome back. It's time to talk about agriculture. You know, food is very essential to human body. You want to grow well, you want to live well, and enjoy your life. You need to eat good food. But we are having a bit of challenge with tomatoes now. And I'm sure everyone in the country knows about this. And there's this disease called tuta absoluta that is said to be destroying tomatoes. So we have in the studio one of the states that is affected. We have Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa, Katsina affected, but we have the Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Dr. Manzu Megari from Kaduna
State.
Thank you so much for being here. And we also have Mr. Femi Udusonya, who is a consultant to Vegetable Markets, Mile 12, as in the Vegetable Markets Group.
Yeah, the Perishable Foodstuff Market
at
Group
Mile 12.
section, yeah.
So let me start with the Commissioner for Agriculture here. We're having issues with tomato. Some people have said somebody bought the whole of tomato. But now we know the truth. And the truth is that we have a disease affecting tomatoes. Tell us about this.
Well, the truth is that we have an epidemic called tomato blight, caused by an insect called Tuta absoluta. Basically, the insect has been variously described as a leaf miner. It has also been described as a borer, but we have also found that it has about 16 plants that serve as hosts to it. But tomato is the most preferred. And in Nigeria here, a few other plants that also serve as host to this moth is the eggplant, potato, even tobacco. Now, what happens? The dynamics of the disease are such that the moth lays its eggs on the stems, leaves, or flower buds of the tomato plant or any other host plant. The eggs hatch in about 7 days and burrow into the stem, fruits, or buds of the plant. And once they are there, they migrate to the fruits. And as a result, they destroy all the plant tissue, resulting in complete wilting and collapse of the plant. At about 10 days, they mature into pupae, and then they develop a kind of a silk covering, and then fall to the ground and burrow into the ground and develop there. In 15 days, they are out as adult flies. Incidentally, when this is noticed, most of the time, farmers act impulsively by spraying chemicals indiscriminately. And this has only served to make this insect resistant to most chemicals, because this has been on since the insect was described in 1917. So it's grown old and adapted, and it's resistant to most chemicals. Right as we speak, once the disease invades, once it establishes itself, it's not reversible. All you can do is to just work to contain it, because it's a highly destructive disease with very high economic importance. And I'm going to tell you, for example, in Kaduna State, we have a cultivated tomato field of about 3,000 hectares that normally yield about 24 million metric tons of fresh tomatoes, valued at about over 7 billion naira each season. This year, our production has been reduced to just 23,000 metric tons from 24 million metric tons. The value of loss is about 6.7 billion naira.
Now, I was just thinking as we're describing this tuta absoluta disease, we know about it. It's been here. You said since
it just came last year.
You said it was described in
original.
1917.
It's original to South America.
Okay, it was described in 1917, and we know, right?
Yes.
Or are we just hearing about it?
Well, you know, there is always the strategic and tactical approach to any issue. For example, this disease came to Africa not too long ago, and the closest it came to us was Senegal in 2012. Then from Senegal it got to Niger, and by last year it crept into Nigeria from Niger. But even so, we didn't take it too serious. It was documented, it was noted and documented, but we didn't really take it serious. But there were warnings that if we didn't do anything by this year, it was going to be very serious, and by next year there will be no single tomato plant standing in Nigeria.
And it appears we didn't do anything.
Yeah, we didn't. That is left to the politics of the day.
What could we have done at that time?
Well, there are, as I said, understanding the dynamics of the disease helps you to plan the control strategy. And there is no reinventing the wheel. And because I will say we are lucky, because this disease is coming, this epidemic is coming at a time when there is information available. For example, in Kenya, when they had it, there was no information. It was totally misdiagnosed, and they were busy attacking something else until eventually they got help. But here we are, we already have the information, and I think all we need is the will. But on our own part as a government in Kaduna State, the moment I briefed my governor, that moment he approved the declaration of a state of emergency. And that same day, we dispatched government officials to go to Kenya and speak with our partners with a view to helping us on a way out of it.
Okay. Mr. Odusonya, you are the perishable goods side at Mile 12 Market. Tell us what it's been like in terms of cost of food crops there.
Thank you very much.
Besides, maybe we should begin from tomato.
Okay. This year has been the worst year in recent time. Before now, tomato itself is a seasonal crop, but we have not had it this bad. Particularly this year, I know we use the prices of tomato for a basket at about this time last year, probably ranges from 12 to 18, but about this time last week, a basket of tomato is being sold between ranges of 30 to 45. So, the issue has gone very bad. So, it has really affected the wholesale and retail side of the sector, and even all those actors in the value chain of tomato is also very affected.
As the scarcity of tomato, has it affected the other foods that are sold in Mile 12?
Definitely. Tomato is the most consumed crop. If tomatoes, you can't buy tomato, you wouldn't need to buy probably what we call bawa, red pepper, and some other things. So tomato, you need to get tomato first. That's the most consumed and the most sorted after. So definitely, in one way or the other, it has affected other produce in the market.
So how are you tackling it, for instance, in Kaduna State right now? Because the prediction you gave the other time, I really don't want it to sink in that by next year we may not have tomatoes.
Well, that's where we moved. And naturally, when you declare a state of emergency, it means that you are bringing extraordinary energy and resources to bear upon the problem. As I speak to you today, we have been able to get some of the materials that we require to combat this problem. But I'm just going to take you quickly through the process. The process normally is an integrated pest management control that is adopted. And because of the seriousness of this disease, you find out that you may require as much as 15 sprays, chemical sprays on the plant per season.
Different?
No.
Or same?
It has to be effective.